One of the things that I really love about listening to Neville's lecture is that he used to give examples of all these different people who were using the law of assumption without even knowing it. He used to give examples of people from his life. He also used to give examples of people who were already accomplished. I probably listened to every single one of his lectures, and that's one of the most fascinating things that I liked about his lectures, those success stories. And most of you may know that I have compiled an entire playlist of his success stories where he used to share success stories about himself as well as others. And in a similar fashion, I wanted to bring this video today, not only sharing somebody else's success story, but actually showing you how they manifested. And the people that I'm talking about today here is Grant and Elena Cardone. Now, if you don't know about Grant Cardone, he's one of my favorite entrepreneurs out there. Written a lot of books like Sell or Be Sold, and the relationship that he has with his wife Elena Cardone is really, really precious, and it's really joyful to watch their relationship. They're like this power couple, and it gives inspiration to a lot of people out there to have a really successful marriage. And they probably do not know about law of assumption, but the story of how Grant Cardone was able to manifest his wife Elena Cardone after being rejected like multiple times, and he was ignored for over 12 months, but he still ended up getting married with her. That's why I wanted to share this video today. If you feel like nothing is working, think about this person who knows in his mind, who believes in his heart that this is the perfect person he's just met, right? But she keeps rejecting him, ignoring him. The way he persisted in this journey is phenomenal. And we can use this as an inspiration in our own journey if we're trying to manifest a specific person. And after we watch this video, I'm also going to play a little clip of Neville Goddard, and you'll be able to see that there's something parallel in his journey and Grant's journey. At the end of the video, I'll tell you what exactly that is. Alright, now, so let's watch this video. I'm also going to give a little commentary as we're watching this, so you know exactly what I'm talking about here.
You know, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I met the girl I'm going to marry. And my mom's like, have you guys been out? I said, no. She doesn't want anything to do with me. And my mama said, she says, Grant, it takes two.
Right from the get-go, you can see that Grant was, in his mind, he already believed that Elena was the one for him. And in his mind, he already believed that, and as a result, he called his mom. But sometimes people do that, right? People, they don't believe in their goals because it does seem impossible. How are you gonna marry somebody that you don't even know? And like he says here, she didn't want anything to do with him. So now let's watch Elena's side of the story, okay?
He had called twice a month and left a message on my answer machine. It was back in those days. I'd never returned any of his phone calls. Then we became friends, like real friends, not with benefit friends. It was interesting because I knew he liked me. He was very respectful and just patient, almost like he knew something that I didn't know.
So here's the thing, right? He kept calling her for like 12 months and she didn't answer. And this was back in the old times, right? The old days. And he used to leave a message every time he called her. And you have to really understand this, especially if you're trying to manifest a specific person. It does take time for your love to melt somebody else's heart, right? And it takes some time to meld their minds according to your intentions so that they can submit to your intentions. And not in a bad way, not in a negative way. But if you are coming from love, there's nothing negative about that, okay? That's why I think there's nothing evil about manifesting a specific person, although some people may try to make you think that way. But there's nothing evil or nothing bad about manifesting a specific person because nobody belongs to nobody in this world. That's my opinion, honestly. If you are coming from this place of love and you think you can provide more love to them, more power to you, regardless of whoever you're trying to manifest, I think that's the best way to go about it. And one thing that I want you to know here is there's a difference between stalking and persistent assumption, okay? Because it's easy to look at this and say that, okay, this guy may be a stalker, and sometimes it may feel that way too. But Elena really didn't feel that way. She didn't feel threatened by him, right? But Grant was also coming from this place of certainty and this playfulness. So, you know, it's all about law of assumption, right? When you're coming from the right state of mind, that's what is going to get reflected out there. She was still ignoring him, but she didn't feel like she was being stalked in a way. Another thing she mentions here is that Grant was always very patient and respectful. That's why she never felt like she was being violated in any way.
It's like he knew something that I didn't know. But like I always had this idea that men would hold me back. But eventually I saw something that I had never ever seen in a man before, which was like this guy, like there was something about me. Like it couldn't have been the poo nanny.
Here she's already saying that she had this belief. she had this really strong assumption that men would hold her back. In other interviews of Grant and Elena, I've heard that she wasn't into the business type of guys because that wasn't her thing. So it took her some time to realize that this guy was of value too. Remember how his mom told him that it takes two? Let's go into the next part, which is absolute law of assumption from our style.
And my mama said, she says, Grant, it takes two. And I hung up with her. I said, thank you so much for telling me that. I hung up with her. I said, oh, I know for sure I'm going to get her because it doesn't take two. It takes one. It takes one person to have a commitment. I needed to not back away from my own agreement.
And that's the thing. You need your own agreement to have a commitment, right? Because if you're really passionate about a goal, even if it's about manifesting a specific person, it comes down to you. Are you really committed in that journey? Are you going to keep persisting no matter what the face of the world shows you, what the face of the 3D reality is showing you, no matter what kind of circumstances come in? It could be insecurities coming from your own side, or it could be actual rejections coming from the outside world, right? Your SP telling you they don't want anything to do with you, or they just like go with someone else. And whatever starts to happen, you have to really keep persisting in your own journey regardless of that, because it takes only one person to make that commitment, and that person is you. And now let me also play this clip by Neville where he talks about how he manifested his wife, his specific person.
Well, when I found the girl to whom I'm now married, I'm blissfully happy with her since the day I met her back in 1936, and I want to marry this girl. I met her the very first second I saw her. I said, she doesn't know it, but she's going to be my wife. She doesn't know it yet. And simply, I slept as though we were blissfully happy.
I hope you can see some similarities over here. They're talking about making that commitment and persisting in the journey no matter what. And one thing you have to realize, like I said earlier, is that you don't do it out of desperation. When you're manifesting a specific person, it's not like you're not trying to creep someone out. You're not trying to be a stalker when you're going after a specific person. Because a lot of people, that's the kind of vibe they get in, right? But you are not that, because you're in this transformational spiritual journey. Because it all comes down to your own internal state. If you're able to control your internal state and come from this place of love, this place of offering value to others, that's when you start getting rewarded for your own values and beliefs out there. But if you're in Grant's shoes, whether you're a man or a woman, and if you kept calling somebody for like 12 months and left voice messages like, I'm gonna die without you and things like that, of course the other person on the other end is gonna be scared, and they're probably gonna like run away from you, right? Because you're coming from this place of lack. It's coming from this place of fear. I know this may seem like a small shift because sometimes actions can be really misleading, right? That's why when it comes to manifesting, we have to always come within and check our internal state, how we're feeling about ourselves. How are we perceiving the world outside of ourselves? Because when we come from this place of love and start projecting our love towards our specific person, eventually they will have to shift according to your assumptions. Because believe it or not, maybe your SP isn't happy in whatever life situations they are at right now. I'm not saying you have to believe that they're living a very shitty life, but if you just thought that whatever life they're living right now, no matter how good it is, with your presence and with your love, of course that is something that's gonna create an even better life for them. And if you start seeing yourself and believing yourself in this way, of course, no matter who you come across, you'll become super attractive, super magnetic towards them. So if you're on this journey of manifesting your specific person, ask yourself, how are you feeling internally about yourself? How are you feeling about manifesting them? Are you coming from this place of fear, place of rejection, and you're still going after them? Because if you're coming from this place of rejection and going after them, you're gonna keep getting that. But if you're coming from this place of abundance, where you feel like you have enough value to offer to them, they're gonna see that too. And of course, they're gonna fall for you, or fall for your assumptions about the relationship that you're trying to create in your own mind. Because that's a really wholesome thing that you're trying to create, and you have to really understand this, okay? So that's all I wanted to share with you in today's video. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to share it out there with other people who are on the same journey as you are. The more people know about a law of assumption and transforming their mindset in such a way, I think more people can get help out of it. I trust that this video has given you some good insights on how you can manifest your own specific person moving forward. And with that being said, guys, I want to wish you all the very best. Happy manifesting. Goodbye and namaste.